We live? Are you panning round to here as well?
They qualified yet?
No.
Live now, Joe. Live now.
Are they? You qualified first. Okay, welcome along. This is DMR Dirt Wars Round 2 here at Wisley Trails. Welcome to all our online viewers on the live stream. What we're about to kick off is our open category final, where we have 9 of our open riders today competing to walk away with some of the Dirt Wars goodie bag. And this is today's rider list in reverse seeding order from today. We've got our first rider who will be dropping in a minute, will be Jack, followed by Harry Gascoigne, then Harry Bolton, Sam Berry, Lon Baldwin, Ali Chuck, Josh Turner, Liam Brown, and first place qualifier Finn Evans. That is your riders list for today's open final. And if our judges are ready and in position, we are going to kick off proceedings here at round 2, open final, Wisley Trails. And at the top of the course, we've got Jack Deere ready for run number 1. Jack opting for the slope style model on his jump bike. Dual suspension coming into the course now. Starting things off, just flowing that first. No hands on the second. Nice one hand, 1 foot over that hip. Going for the Superman on that last double. What's he got to finish things off? And a nice 1 hand, no footer to finish. Good start to the final for Jack Deere. Just a Terminator. He is one and only Harry Bolton. No stranger to the podium in past competition. See what he's got for today. Nice, starting off with that big 360 on the first. Not quite able to get what he wanted on the second, but still nice toboggan for the hip. There's that combination, tie grab, tuck, no hander. What's he going to finish with? A no footer can. Still a solid foundation to build from in his first run of 3 for Harry Bolton. If I'm not wrong, I think Harry finished the 2019 overall season in 2nd place. So definitely no stranger to the podium is Harry.
You can see it all from there. It's good. You can sit there and watch.
And a few more commitments to his free time now, studying at university, but still with the skills to shred here at Dirt Wars. Next rider up, Sam Berry. Cornish rider here in round 2 of the finals at Wisley Dirt Wars. Starting things off with the tie grab on that first. Nice 1 footer table. Seat grab toboggan over the hip. Good extension on that knack. And coming round the berm. Finish with a clean tuck no hand. A good start for Sam Berry.
Say something about the
assuming that the judges are ready, we'll move on to our next rider, Lon Baldwin, qualified in 5th place from the seeding session earlier on today. Another regular face on the dirt wall circuit. Starting things off with an X up on that setup. Bar spin the first. X up to inward table. Tuck no hander to X up. Oh, we wanted some extension on that. Not on this occasion. Maybe a Superman was in his mind. And finishing with a cheeky nose bonk over the step up box. Next rider, 4th place seed, Ali Huck. Ready to drop, run number 1. Trails local, more star than anybody could fit in their back pocket. There's nice clean 360 on the start. Bar spin to X up on the second. Toboggan on the third. Crowd is going mad for him. 360 bar spin. Looking clean and perfection personified. And another 360. The local riders and limited COVID-friendly crowd are going crazy. And I've just been informed it was actually an Oppo 360 spin on that final feature. Ali Huck coming to shut down this open category final and put in all of his local knowledge to fine use today. And huge props for still running 24s, they're the best. Should be extra points for that on its own.
Not biased at all, are you?
24s for life. Now coming in to our top 3 seeds. Next rider up, Josh Turner. See what Josh has got for his first run of the final, dropping in. 360X up on the first. Tuck no hander to table. Bar spin to table, packed full of combinations. There's another one, tuck no hander to X up. A combo trick on nearly every single jump so far. And finishing tail whip clean to pedals. This rider has his sight on the very top of that podium. And he's doing all that it takes to put in a decent score that will hopefully find himself there at the end of the day and walk away with a bag load of Dirt Wars goodies. You only have to take a look at some of the branding and flags around. Series supported by Proper Job Cleaner, Etnies, DMR, Works Tools, Core Protection. And then there were just 2. Next up, 2nd place seed, Liam Brown, ready to drop, run number 1. Liam coming in on course. Backflip over that first, table the second. Bar spin to bar spin! He's shaking it off. He's back on his feet, he's lost a shoe. That did look pretty gnarly. He was going for the bar spin to bar spin. But he is back on his feet, so he's going to have 2 more runs to try and clean that up. Looking like a big, high-scoring run up until that point. Undoubtedly a bit of bike mechanical adjustment there. Bars are twisted a bit to the side. His shoe has completely come off. Hopefully he'll be able to get that back on and get up to the course to finish his next 2 runs. Fingers crossed for Liam Brown. We definitely want him to see him continue in this final. Like I said, he was your 1st place seed from our seeding session earlier on today, and well worthy of cracking into that top 3 podium. And on to our final rider for their first run is the Welshman, Finn Evans. Fresh off 1st place victory at round 1 Radical. He knows what it takes to get on top. Starts off with an X up there. Backflip on the second. Just over rotating slightly. You could see the manual coming through on the last part of that backflip. He shook it off. Not worth carrying on through the course. He's going to have 2 more runs to clean things up there for the Welshman, Finn Evans. Try and chase down that back-to-back podium finish. So with our first runs done and in the bag, we're going to go back to the top of the list, where we will have Jack Deere ready to drop in for run number 2. Jack, one of a handful of the riders in this category, opting for the slope style dual suspension frame. Let's see what he does with it through this course. Just styling through, flowing his way. Nice stylish one-footed table there. Going for the Superman on the last big double round the berm. And a nice, tidy little toboggan to finish things off. Jack Deere just flowing his way through course, making sure he's comfortable and potentially saving something a bit bigger for his final run.
You're in a dangerous spot. The only spot I can get everything in.
That's what she said. Next up, Harry Gascoigne. The youngest rider in our open category today here at DMR Dirt Wars Round 2 Wisley. Let's see what he's got in store. Nice boost one-hander on that first. Tyre grab the second. Flowing through with a one-footer. Cranks out the backflip, perfect. Clean to pedals, comes around the berm with speed. And plenty of time for that overextended X-up. Brushing his knee with the tyre. Great execution in his second run from Harry Gascoigne. Just needs to add a little bit more up top earlier on in the course and he could really be looking at a solid score there. But finishing very strong with the big backflip on the main big jump. Good execution on his X-up. Coming through the step up box. Next up, Harry Bolton, run number 2. Starting off again, nice 360, just tagging the back end, but he's still on course. Toboggan over the hip. Nice triple combination, tuck, tie, grab, tuck. One of Harry's signature moves. And there, again, nice no-footed can-can to finish his second run. Good improvement from Harry Bolton into his second run. Variety and combination throughout the course. That is going to favour well in the judges' eyes. And no stranger to that podium is Harry Bolton. Next up for their second run of the finals is Sam Berry, Cornish rider. Sam coming in on course. Starting things off with a tie grab over that first. Nice, stylish one-footed table. Toboggan seat grab. Knack on the double. Around the berm. And tuck to one-footed can. Very quick hands off there. There's still time to squeeze in that combination one-footed can on the step-up box. Just a few creases to iron out for some of these riders to put down that dream run. Give themselves the very best chance to have that dream score from the judges and walk away with some goodies. But so far only the judges know. And we will carry on with our next rider, Lon Baldwin. at least a couple of years on the dirt wall circuit is Lan. He knows what it takes to get on the podium. X up to inward table. Tuck no hander on that hip. There's the Superman, huge extension on the Superman. Perfect extension. And a cheeky nose bonk up that final step up box.
The fibre line one, isn't it? It's the D3 fibre line. D4 has like vents on the top. And slightly the shim piece is slightly thinner.
Next up, fourth place seed, local trails master Ali Huck. Huge first run. Crowd and rider favourite. He's got the style, he's got the tricks. There it is, starting off with that 360, nice big tuck no hander on the second. Oh, clean flat table on the hip. Perfection out of the backflip. What's he got to finish things off? 360 bar spin. Hell of a run out of Ali Huck. Oppo 360 bar spin. Judges are correcting me. So an additional technical element to that final trick from Ali Huck, as well as it having a bar spin in the 360, was an opposite direction 360. Technicality on that is next level, like trying to throw a ball with your left hand, far more difficult if you're right-handed. And he put it down like he'd been doing it his whole life, Ali Huck.
Did they stop recording?
Local trails hero.
Just in case, that's going to go up on YouTube instead. Depends.
And all the style in the world on these fantastic jumps here at Wisley Trails. Big shout out to all the Wisley Trails crew for providing such a fantastic facility for today's round 2 of Dirt Wars. Gagging to get back here after many years away, but a pleasure for all the riders to experience what are truly exceptional set of trails. Next rider up, Josh Turner, third place seed, run number 3. Josh coming in, starting off with a tail whip, just unable to catch the pedals. You can see he's going to be scratching that run. Josh Turner will be saving it all for his third and final run. Okay, unfortunately our second place seed, Liam Brown, who come a bit of a cropper on his first run, has injured himself. He's going to have to drop out from the rest of the competition, which is very sad to see. Clearly one of the guys chasing down that podium top spot with some big tricks, but it's not going to be for him today. Liam Brown is going to be scratched off the list. So with that, we move to our first place seed, the Welshman, Finn Evans, ready to drop. Doing it for the motherland, Team Wales. X up on that first. Backflip on the second. Toboggan the hip. Oh, nice extension on that Superman. Coming round the berm. What's he got for the up box? Oh, nice clean to pedals. He's got to be stoked by that. Finn Evans looking to repeat on the success from round 1, where he walked away at the top of the podium in both BMX and mountain bike amateur category. So he has serious eyes on that podium today, and with a run like that, it's definitely going to take some high level of riding to put in a score equivalent to what he's riding at the moment. Again, only the judges know. Big shout out to Dirt Wars title sponsor DMR for this season. As you can see from the bannering and flags, they have been supporting the circuit for many years. And yeah, DMR are great. So finally back to the top of the list. These are the third and final runs from your open category finalists. Make some noise, give them some stoke, cheer them through with our COVID-friendly limited crowd. And let's see what they've got to end today's competition. Jack Deere, a third and final run. Whenever you're ready. Oh, he started off with a backflip on the first. Looking good so far for Jack Deere. Nice, laid out, one hand, one footer. Nothing on the second. What's he got coming round the bend? Still, hell of a way to finish his final. Make some noise for Jack Deere, saving it all for last. And putting in a few extra tricks we didn't see along the way. Saving it for that final run. That is it for today. Let's see how the judges score him. Hashtag Dirk is not dead. I heard he is the antivirus. He's got all the antigens. He's defeated Rona single-handedly and he's back here. Dirk is not dead. I just seen him. Next rider up, Harry Gascoigne. Final run. The young gun on course coming through. Tie grab on that first. Seat grab the second. Styling over that hip. Backflip, one for the can-can from the youngster. He's still on course. Still on the pedals. And a big X up. Come on, you've got to make some noise for Harry Gascoigne. Only rider in today's open category pulling out that backflip, one for the can-can. He did on the biggest jump here, and he did it hella clean to pedals. Finished strong with a great X-up extension on that step-up box. The lad has got to be happy with his riding today. Our youngest competitor in the open category. And then on to our next, Harry. He is Harry Bolton, and this is his third and final run. Some call him Blozzer. Some call him Barry. We know him as the tie grab Terminator. Harry on course. 360 bar spin on the first, looking clean. Just pushing through that second. Nice toboggan held. There's the triple combination, tuck no and a tire grab tuck. All eyes on the last. And finishing again, no for can-can. Solid end to the day's riding for Harry Bolton. Pulling out the big truck on that first 360 bar spin on the very first hit. That is high risk, high reward, and hopefully the judges will score him accordingly. Harry Bolton's got to have skipped up from his 7th place seed. Eyes on that top 5, top 3 finish, I'm sure. Next rider up, Sam Berry, third and final run. Side grab on that first. One for the table. Going for the seat grab, reverse hand grab. One for the can-can. And a seat grab to finish his day's riding. Sam Berry coming over that hip, grabbing the handlebars backwards. My eagle eye spotted it, but still enough to get through the rest of the course and finish his run. That is it today for Sam Berry. I know the crowd and judges were going mad for the extension on the Superman that came out of Lan Baldwin's last run. Let's see the course. Lon ready to drop. Known for his combination tricks. Proficient with the bars. Oh, he's putting his out double bars on the first. Couldn't quite see the second. Tuck to X up on the hip. Going for the Superman to X up. Combinations all round for Lon Baldwin. And a bar spin to finish. He's got to be happy with his day's riding. Lon Baldwin chasing down that podium. Did he pull double bars at the start?
No, bar X.
So correction, it was a bar spin to X up on the first. Thought it might have been double bars. And then also with a Dirt Wars first with the Superman to X up. Another big combination trick to see from our open category rider Lon Baldwin. Solid day's riding. Absolute crowd favourite and local hero Ali Huck. Two big banger runs already in the bag. You can hear the megaphone clucking off crazy for this ledge. Oh, he's just dropping some bear stees. Look at this, huge whips. Oh, so much stees. Oh, beautiful, nice nosedive 360. And a cheeky little nose manual up the box. He knows he's done enough. He's put a big run in the bag earlier on today. And he is very possibly the man to beat today in this open final.
The hardest part is going to be changing. I know, but now I have to move the computer after this over there without turning it off.
And with just two riders remaining, next up, Josh Turner. Third and final run. Let's see what Josh has got to finish off the day. There, he's got the tail whip. He's still on course. Nice extension on that one-hander. Steezing it out. Just flowing through the rest of the line. Still a solid day's riding for Josh. Got himself into that third place seed from earlier on today. And putting together some pretty high level stunts for an open category rider. He should be proud with himself. Good lad, Josh Turner. And finally, just one man remains. He is the Welshman, Finn Evans, chasing down that repeat victory after round one success. How's he going to end his day's riding? Nice one for the can on that clean clip table. Oh, nice, putting in a bit of ET, pedaling throughout the air, and good extension. And that has been our open category final here for round two. Wisley, don't go anywhere. There's going to be a short interval as we recorrect our live feed setup for the pro final. Don't go anywhere. Pro final coming at you any minute now. Don't go anywhere. Thank you, Drive. Yeah, it is. Check, check. Can you hear me? Live feed? Yeah, I think I have surprised myself, yeah. Am I on live feed? Can you hear me? Check, check. We'll assume that you can hear me. Right, apologies to our online viewers. The live stream a bit more technical to set up in this wooded set of trails. Trying to get the optimum angle as the pro category is riding on a different area of the course. So there's been a bit of an interval just trying to sort that out, and then letting these pro finalists get their practice in, and then kick off with round 2 pro final here at Wisley Trails 2020, the year of the Rona. What's that?
Give the sweet spot a shout out. If you're ever in Poulton.
Shout out to the best sweet shop in Poulton, Sweet Spot. They will deal with all of your confectionery and gelatin needs. High grade bovine gelatin, undoubtedly some of the sweetest sweets your taste buds could desire. Cliff loves them. Points mean sweets. Aldridge Media, I've had online feedback. Apparently I'm not sounding that loud on the live stream. I've just been told to speak up. Treasy, if you can hear me on the live stream, what's the volume like? Any louder? Any better? WhatsApp? Any better live stream audience out there? Well, it is what it is. Come on. Big shout out to James Richmond, aka Almond, aka Rank Manignoff. Can you hear me? Right. I'm live now. Hello, I'm live now. Hopefully you can hear me. Dirk is not dead. I saw him today. He's got the antigens. He beat Rona.
2 metres, fella, 2 metres.
All right, welcome back and thank you for your patience. Just ironing out a few creases for this pro final. As I said, elite riders are going to be using a different part of the course, so we just had to move and correct our live feed system. But what we're witnessing right now is just the very last practice runs before our pro final. And this is today's rider list for said pro final in reverse seeding order from our seed session earlier on today. Our first rider, when we're ready to drop, will be Ali Dunn, followed by Zach Rainbow, Harry Campbell, Freddie Pullman, Matt Clegg, Finn Davis, Joe Aldridge, Sam Hodgson, and your top 3 seeds, Rob Beard, Ryan Nangle, and first place seed, Cameron Crozier. That is your elite riders list. Just the last bits of practice coming out of these pros. And then we will kick off the first runs of 3 here at DMR Dirt Wars Round 2 Wisley Trails. Final practice runs, and then get ready for your running order and we can get this final underway. Very last bit of practice now for the riders, and then we need to assemble a running order and kick off the first runs of 3. Apologies on the live feed for any any lack of ideal camera angles, in a convoluted way of saying it. Not very easy to catch the whole line in one pan of the live stream camera, so there may be the odd tree or banner or flag in the way, obscuring the most ideal view of the course. But hopefully you will be able to catch some good action along the way. So if we could have riders back to the top. Ali Dunn will be the first rider to drop in. Second rider will be Zach Rainbow. Third will be Harry Campbell. If at the very least those 3 riders could sort of get their way into position, and we could start things coming together for this final. Once again, big shout out and thank you to all the Wisley Trails crew for providing this exceptional facility for today's competition. Definitely a favourite stop on the circuit and a pleasure to be back after a few years hiatus. But all the riders revelling in the glory that is the true form of the sport, the trails, through the woods. Big air, big gaps, big flow, and the perfect platform to throw in some crazy mid-air antics. So if the riders start making the way to the top, Ali Dunn, first rider to drop in. He will be followed by Zach Rainbow, second. Harry Campbell will be third. Freddie Pullman after Harry, then Matt Clegg, Finn Davis, and the last 4 riders to drop in will be Sam Hodgson, Robert Beard, Ryan Nangle, and Cam Crozier. All riders' practice time is now over. Prepare yourself at the top of the course and get yourself ready for the first runs of 3 here in the final. Yo. So smooth. Yeah, very clinical in his execution.
So small.
But yeah, it's so potent, the young gun. All riders to the top, all riders to the top. The time is nearly upon us. Just looking for the thumbs up from the judges. Forget about how hard it might be to see the whole course through the live stream. I can't even see where the judges are between the trees and the flags and the jumps and the landings. We'll just make the best of it that we can. I can spot a thumbs up in the distance. So with that, I will kick off proceedings. Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, all our limited COVID-friendly spectators and all of our online viewers to today's round 2 of DMR Dirt Wars, the premier national dirt jump series on the circuit. And to kick things off here in the final, our first rider will be Ali Dunn, getting ready to drop in for his first run of 3. As the elite category is going to be operating on a different section of the course, there is an initial 4 or 5 jumps at the start that they will just be cruising through before they get to the judge section, which starts with the gas jump as the first, the 2 hips and the final straight jump. So if we've got Ali Dunn ready at the top, we are going to get things kicked off. As I look through the trees, I spot what looks like Ali Dunn getting things started. He is a major trails enthusiast, privateer rider, Chicksands local. Nice boost and table over that first. 1-footed in table to out table, lining things up for the last, and squeezing out a cheeky. Again, there will be a short pause between runs as the judges tally things up, and we make sure they give themselves the necessary time so the riders get exactly the score that they need to impress the judges. With that, I'll move on to our next rider. He is Zach Rainbow, doing it for NS Bikes, Cali Protection, and a past open category champion a few years ago, now well worthy of competing alongside the country's best. Nice start things off with a tuck no hand, a backflip on the first. Backflip on the second, just unable to carry enough speed. Zach is going to scratch that run. Remember, the judges looking for clean execution on each of those 4 hits, and that will give the rider their best option for a good score and try and walk away on that podium with some cash money. But for the moment, Zach is going to scratch that first run. 2 more still to come later on for him. But we will move on to our next rider, and he is Cornish local lad Harry Campbell, privateer rider, part of the Dirt Wars circuit for many years, part of the Dirt Wars build crew, and a very distinct signature style, Harry, with a lot of his old school, starting things off with 1-footed X-up backflip. Nice into a clean upright 1-footed X-up, 1-foot table, the hip, and a Superman to finish his run. Definitely stepping things up from the seeding session earlier on today. Harry Campbell starting strong here in the final. And our next rider up needs no introduction. He is the first and the only ever 2-time repeat pro champion on the circuit, the Southwest rider Freddie Pullman, representing Canyon Bikes, Spitfire Clothing, and his first competition back on the scene after an injury a few months back. How's Freddie going to start his day off? Oh, beautiful start out 360 toboggan, dumping that front end into a 3-bar on the first hip. Tuck no hander, clean so far. Oh, and a luxurious backflip bar spin. Where was Freddie saving that riding all day? Really elevating the level of his runs from the earlier seeding session. and showing everybody exactly how he ended up as the first and only ever two-time series champion, 2016, 2018. And still, this is his first time competing back on the bike since breaking his leg only 10 weeks ago. So the lad has got to be happy with that first run. Strong start for the day from Freddie Pullman. I definitely know the purists of the sport will love that jump toboggan 3. That was for all the trails riders out there. They'll dine on it all day long. But I digress. We move on to our next rider, and we should have Matt Clegg atop, opting for the slope style ride for his frame setup, and also a new face on the circuit for this season. Just working his way through the top part of the course, ready for the first. Nice, smooth 360. Boosting on that first hip. Lining up for the last double. What's he got in store? Nice flip. Good foundation to work from for his first run of this final. Next rider up, he is the young gun, the man mountain, that is Finn Davis. Youngest rider in today's competition, representing Commensal Bikes. An absolute ripper. And a future face on the sport for a long time to come. Nice start with the tuck no-hander. Tuck to late X. Pedaling out at 1 foot table. And finishing big with a nice Superman. Finn Davis, the young gun, hunting down the old flock. And so on to our next rider. He is the 5th place seed, and he is Joe Aldridge, riding for Chromag Bikes, part of Aldridge Media, part of the Red Hills Dirt Wars build crew, and a real stylish trails rider at that. Nice vintage style no-footer can on the first, snapping those legs out. Beautiful downside table 1-footer, opposite table. And the suicide one-hander, maybe looking to throw the late bars. But again, a fantastic start to his final from Joe Aldridge. Literally one run prior to starting, fully carcassed into a tree. So it's good to see him strong and back on the bike. Takes more than trees to stop these elite mountain bike cyclists. And to our next rider, our 4th place seed, all the way from the Isle of Wight, here's Sam Hodgson, fresh onto a new deal with DMR Bikes, doing it for dynamic style, and getting himself prepped and ready for a visit to Audi 9s coming up next weekend for the young rider. Still, he's got today to deal with first. What's he got? Starting things off with great extension. Really snapping out that 1-foot can mid backflip, but just over rotating. Big manual exit. Hopefully the bike is still in one piece. It'll certainly take more than that to slow him down, but potentially might be looking at a mechanical situation whether there are any open riders in the crowd who want to possibly assist him with a mechanical. Honcho 2.5 cannot be stopped, ever. So clearly scratching that run. We'll move on to our next rider. He's third place qualifier, or shall I say third place seed. He is the Cornish local lad from the track. He is Robert Beard, full of combinations, full of old school flair, and as well as representing Cali Protection alone, a big long list of other sponsors. Robert starting off with a tuck no hander to nothing. There is one of those vintage style combinations, just unable to carry his line through. So like Sam Hodgson, he's going to scratch that run. Still going to be two more to come in this final. These guys are really rolling the dice, trying to up their level from the seeding session earlier and chase down that podium finish. Once again, swiftly moving on to our next rider. Veteran to the scene, 2010 Pro Champion. He is the one and only Ryan Nangle, privateer rider, part of Nangle Media, and the only athlete still on the scene 10 years on. How's he going to start off this final? Nice nosedive 360, lovely and clean from Ryan. Huge style throwing around the 360 rotation, tuck no hander on the third hip. Oh, and beautiful flat spin down table, 1 foot of 3. Hella run from the one and only Ryan Nangle. Barrangle. And then there was just one rider left to take their first run of this final. He is your first place seed. He is also defending 2019 series champion, all the way from Radical Bike Parks, Essex. And down here at Wisley Trails for round 2, Cam Crosby coming through course. Nice smooth flip over that first 360 X up, over spinning that 3 on the hip. Big extension on the tuck no hander, and a 360 something that I couldn't see through the trees. Possibly a can. 360 1-footed can. Great start for Cam Crozier. And he was your first place seed from earlier on today. Also trying to follow up that third place podium finish from round 1 of the series, with his sights set on the podium as always, Cam Crozier. It is the mentality of the champion, and we do have a handful of past champions here today battling it out for the top spot. Well, the judges look ready, so I'm going to move back to the top of the list for the start of run number 2s, where we should have Ali Dunn, Chicksands Bike Park local privateer rider, ready to drop. Really known for his flow and steez, loves kicking out. Oh, nice, starts off with the pendulum. No foot can one way, no foot can back. Styling that second and third hip with a nice table. but just unable to carry his speed, pulling out before the last hit. Still one more run to come for Ali Dunn. If he wants to clean things up, add a little bit extra to that. But starting with a trick that I love to see, which is the pendulum. Not a lot of guys are pulling out that old school flair. Next rider up, Zach Rainbow. Doing it for NS Spikes, Cali Protection. Hella trick bag on the lad as well. And just with a few light injury issues from a couple of stacks today. But we know he will power through it like he always does. The Man Mountain, Zach Rainbow coming through. What's he got in store for the judges in this second run? Big start again, backflip no-hander. Second flip, still carrying on through. What's he got for the last? And lovely, finishing strong with a backflip bar spin. Zach really cleaning things up. Just a little extra to add on that third set, but still big start. Backflipped up, flip the first hit, and flip the bars to finish. Really raising the level of his riding here in the final. What could he have in store for the final run? He has got to be happy with that one. On to our next rider, Harry Campbell. One of our Cornish contingent, long time on the scene. I think 2016 Open champion, 4 years in pro, and well worthy of it. Signature style backflip, one-footed X up. One-footed X up on that first hip. All eyes lined up on the last. And finishing with a nice styled out McSteasington moto whip. Kicking the back end right out. Harry Campbell building on from his first run. Lovely to see some of that old school influence, mid flip and straight up with the one-footed X up. One of my personal favorites. And executed to perfection from the young star Harry Campbell. On to our next rider, Freddie Pullman. Canyon Bikes, Spitfire clothing. Coming through. Starting things off, there it is, lovely dump, 3 toboggan. 360 bars, tuck no hander. And real corking out that flip with the backflip bar spin. You'd almost call that a backflip bar spin underflip with the sideways action of that frame. Solid run, jam-packed. Freddie Pullman putting it down and loving his new slick paint job. Shout out Luke Wyatt for that cracking spray job on his new Canyon rig. Doing it and his sponsors more than proud, Freddie Pullman. Next rider up, Matt Clegg. Run number 2, whenever you're ready. Nice, starting off strong with that 360 bar spin. Just able to carry his speed through, but not able to trick those next two, but still finishing with a bit of style with a kick out. Nice moto whip finish. It really is a case of rolling the dice. The bigger you go on the first set, you have to have perfection to carry on through, make it to the end of the course, as well as executing on each of the following three features. But a nice, good start to that run from Matt with a 360 bar spin. We want to see him put a little bit more together for his final run. And swiftly on to our next rider, Finn Davis, the young gun, Common Cell Bikes. Coming in through course. Our youngest entry for the round today. Nice combination there with the tuck, no-hander to no-footer. Tie grab to tuck on the second. Seat grab the third. Oh, the extension on that Superman. Lovely finish to the run from the young gun, Finn Davis. Competing against guys decades his senior. He is really the young future of the sport, I do not doubt. Hashtag future Olympian. Finn Davis, the Ripper. Next on course, Joe Aldridge. Coming in, Chromag Bikes. Making his way to that first. Oh, lovely, clean 360 over that first. Downside 1 foot table. Top side, downside 1 footer can. And finishing clean with a nice backflip, solid second run for Joe Aldridge. Next up, cracking into our top 4 seed. Rider on the list next, Sam Hodgson. Hopefully overcoming a mechanical issue after his huge backflip can-can. He's cruising through the top section, so he is back on course. Let's see what Hodgson's got in store for run number 2. Backflip, clipping the trees. Oh, the sick dumped underflip over the second. And the extension almost grabbing a branch from the top canopy of the tree. Sam Hodgson, good second run. Kind of struggling for my brain to even process the axes of rotation that Hodjo has in some of his runs, but I'll call it a corky under dump dipper, something like that. It's pretty sick, that's for sure. We'll trademark that. A corky under dump dipper. Now available from Dara Lee. Right, swiftly on to our next rider, Rob Beard. Third place seed. Doing it for Cali Protection. All the way from Cornwall, one of our furthest entrants. And putting in plenty of practice time at the track to develop this skill set. There it is, there's one of them, tuck no-hander to nothing. Oh, big Superman on that first hip. That is a crazy trick to be pulling out mid-set. Over a hip, high risk, high reward. Shaking his head, unfortunately, unable to get his way through the rest of the course. If he finished off that run, that would surely look very favourable upon the judges' eyes. Certainly a rider I love to see what he has in store for us. Right next, Ryan Nangle, here, 2010 Pro Champion. That is a while ago. Very signature style of riding, has Ryan Nangle, some very signature rotation style as well. Oh, great dump flat spin 360 on that first. Big tuck no-hander. Styling it out on the third. And finishing again with a flat dump, inverted 360. Trickery of the mind. Ryan Nangle, 2 solid runs in the bag from the youngster. And definitely reinforcing his right to have been that second place seed. And on to our final rider to take their second run, Cam Crozier, representing Radio Bikes, local to Radical Bike Park. And if you didn't hear me say earlier, he is the defending 2019 series champion. But what's he got now? Backflip bar spin on that first. Everything perfect so far. 360X up on the second. Tuck no-hander on that third. Finishing huge with a double tail whip, clean to pedals. This is the guy to chase down, and that is the very reason why he was the first place seed. Cam Crozier putting it all together for his second run. Is there even anything he could add to that run to top his score? That really was something quite special from Mr. Essex, Cam Crozier. That was really good.
So clean.
Yeah.
So consistent.
Yeah.
Nice. It's almost balletic. Shouldn't tell him that though.
Right, for the third and final time, we make our way back to the top of the course, back to the top of the list. If there's ever time to raise some stoke and get these riders psyched, it is their third and final run. And first up, we have Ali Dunn, Chicksands Bike Park local, trisports.com, and just general all-round trails lover, flowing his way through this heavenly set of trails. No footer can on that first, boosting the second. Nice table on the third. And finishing with his signature style Superman. That is it for today for Ali Dunn. He comes for the vibes and he comes for the quality trails to ride. Not everybody needs to throw down big tricks all the time. It's all about enjoying yourself, enjoying the environment and the fellow riders around you, and Ali Dunn is a prime example of that. He just loves trails. Who could blame him? Next rider up, Zach Rainbow. Putting together a solid second run. Is there anything he wants to add to it for the judges? Let's see what he has in store on his NS Spikes rig. Nice, starting again with that backflip no-hander. Flip again on that second. Everything, I was going to say everything looking good on course, still unable to carry his speed on that occasion. Casing that third hip. We hope that he's all right. Hopefully we will see him back on his feet. He's a hell of a tough guy. But he has also been dealing with injury issues from earlier on today, so fingers crossed that hasn't. Risk scenario. Just the riding the course, let alone throwing down the level of tricks that some of these riders are putting together today. So fingers crossed for Zach. Unfortunately, that is going to be it for him regardless for today's competition. But maybe his second or his first run may have put in a good enough score. Only the judges know. He's back, he is alive. And taken a bit of a whooping on that third, unfortunately. Okay, we shall carry on proceedings. Next rider up will be Harry Campbell, privateer rider. Part of the dirt wall scene for many a year as Harry. Backflip on that first. One-footed X up on the second hip. Lining things up for the last. Huge front flip attempt. The amplitude was crazy, just not quite able to carry his speed through. Crazy to see the amplitude coming out the front flip attempt there, as you might have been able to pick up on the live feed. Just catching the knuckle of the landing. And like with Zach, fingers crossed, he is going to be coming out of that all right. He is another tough guy. But these jumps are serious business. Without a doubt, the biggest course on the circuit. We shall hopefully wait and see a thumbs up, or to see Harry back on his feet, hopefully walking away from that front flip attempt crash. Oh, but Jesus. There we go. I think he's out alive. He is still alive. That is very fortunate for him. Gnarly crash. So gnarly. Good thing he started wearing his full face as well, because that probably was a fair old bosh to the noggin. These guys are really trying to raise the stakes on their third and final run. Unfortunately, that was carried our second carcass in a row. But he's back on his feet. Right, I think we're all right to carry on proceedings. Next rider on the list will be Freddie Pullman. Shreddy Freddy. On his Canyon weapon, freshly sprayed. Sick paint job. And also representing Spitfire clothing, Freddie on course. Oh, the McSteasington honour. Kicking that sideways. All the style for the days. Just really showing absolute trails flow and cashing that one out with two big banger runs already in the bag. Just thought he'd give the crowd a bit of what they want to see, which is absolute style, pure flow, and pure luxury through the air. Freddie Pullman. But how will he finish up in the judges' eyes? Remember, all the results will be pasted online on the Facebook group after the live stream finishes, so do check things out after that, see how our riders finish the day off. But we're not finished yet, we still have a handful of pro finalists, and next up Matt Clegg, ready at the top, third and final run. Nice, there's the truck again, 360 bar spin on that first. Still carrying his speed through well, styling that third. Oh, and finishing with a 360 tail attempt. Maybe not quite getting his feet back on the pedals on that occasion, but still nice way to end the run. Everybody loves a 360 tail whip. But today, just not quite going to be for Matt Clegg. Still a pleasure to have the new rider on this 2020 circuit, and hopefully a face we will carry on seeing for years to come. More than worthy to compete alongside the rest of these elite athletes. Yes, Freddie Pullman, all the C's in the world. So to our next rider, Finn Davis, Common Sal Bikes, dropping in. Starting things off, just boosting that first, roosting his speed through, great style, flow and amplitude out the youngster. And a nice styled out 1 foot table, kicking out. Lad has got to be more than proud with his weekend's riding. And a future face in the sport for many, many years to come. The young man mountain, Finn Davis, holding his own. First season competing alongside the pro athletes. He was an open category rider last season. But he got the skills to earn that right, riding alongside the rest of the country's best. He's got to be happy. Haven't got a Scooby what the judges are trying to say to me. I'll take the thumbs up as a note to carry on. So without further ado, next rider on the list, Joe Aldridge, final run. great trail style from Joe all the time. Lovely 360 over that first. Tuck no hander on the second. Big boost over that third. Bit jiggly there, and to carry speed through that is it for today for Joe Aldridge. Shout out Aldridge Media. And then there were just four. They are the top four seed. Fourth place seed, Sam Hodgson. Final run. Fresh ride on his new DMR today, dialing himself in, getting himself ready for the RD9s coming up. But still this third and final run. Oh, backflip candy bar. One of my favorites without a doubt. Big dump, drop shoulder underflip on that second. And a nice backflip, maybe something in that combo, could not see from here. But still, great days riding on his new setup. There's your DMR Bikes rider, Sam Hodgson, 2.5. All the way from the Isle of Wight. And getting himself psyched and ready for an invite to Audi 9s. Keep your eyes on the online for that. Next up, Robert Beard. Final run. The track local. Really getting his money's worth out of that Resi ramp set up at the track. Learning so many tricks. Progressing unbelievably. Big nothing on that first. Great extension, great execution. There's the Superman, he's pulled it. He's still on course, he's got the tuck to X up. Lads on fire. And hopefully he's come away from it, finishing things off with the Superman seat grab. Just like last time, he saved it all for the run of the day. He did that at round one. Like the stars aligning, it has all come together for Robert Beard on the last run of the day for him. Can he maintain that top three position that he earned through the seeding session earlier? Definitely some of my favourite tricks along the course from Beard. If nothing else, the great execution and extension on that nothing to start things off. But the hella sick Superman on that second, and still cramming in some combos and finishing with one of his new ones, the Superman seat grab. Solid days riding for Rob Beard. Big props. And then there were just two. One of them is your 2010 Pro Champion, and one of them is your 2019 Pro Champion. But first up, Ryan Angle, second place seed, privateer rider, 2010 champion on course. Oh, lovely flat three. Oh, shaking through that three as well, Samson style.